What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to Hanabie. Yes, indeed, Hanabie Fans FEELIN YOU. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-bobbity-bop, do me a favor. Before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, well then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from SMB, and this is actually one of SMB's 3 prioritized requests for the month of March for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So here you go, SMB. Hope you enjoy the show. SMB want to see me react to this. It is Hanabie with a tune entitled Ito Okashi My Type. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Hanabie Official YouTube, okay? And the video has 708,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. I have absolutely no idea. My type. Music video, Hanabie. Okay, look, this is the link that SMB gave me. So if this is not the right spot, don't blame me. Blame SMB. He's the one who gave me this link. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Okay.
I know we haven't spoken in a while.
Pluses and minuses. Pluses. When we get into the straight time feel and we get into the halftime feel, especially when we get into the halftime feel, it gets super heavy. Love that. I love the heaviness. The guitar tone, nice, thick, crunchy guitar tone. I like it. Not too heavy, it's not muddy. It's got enough bite that you can hear every chord subdivided and articulately defined as far as what notes are being played. Drumming, I like the drumming. I think the drumming might be actually one of the high points for me. Switching between the halftime feel, straight time feel, and double time feel. When she goes into the double time feel, putting the snare on the upbeats as opposed to the downbeats. Great choice. I was trying to imagine when she would go into the double time feel, I was trying to imagine the placement of the snare on the downbeats. It works, but it's not nearly as effective as putting the snare on the upbeats in that section. Really helps differentiate between straight time and double time. Very well done. Very nice decisions. Bass sounds good. Guitar sounds good. Drums sound good. Songwriting, a little chaotic. Shifting gears very rapidly from phrase to phrase. I know that's what they're about. I know that's kind of their thing. It's kind of their gimmick is, when it comes to their songwriting, they love to shift gears very rapidly and keep the listeners off keter. It's fine. I mean, it works just fine, but if we're talking about establishing a groove, do they? Yes, but they establish the groove with that much time. So you're only giving the listeners that much time to get into it before they switch gears, I know a lot of people like that, and that's perfectly fine. I am not one of those people. I like it when you establish a groove, instead of just establishing the groove for 2 measures, give us 8, especially the tempo we're going at. Is it really that much to ask? That's just personal taste. That's just how I personally feel. I mean, like I said, are they doing anything wrong? No, it's their thing. That's what they do. But if you're asking me if I enjoy it, if I like it, not really. No, it's very chaotic sounding. The other minus I have are the vocals. Now, and this is going to sound really weird coming from me. Her grit and growl vocal, I have no issue with it. It sounds fine. It sounds well done. There is, believe it or not, there is pitch. You have to look for it, but there is a subharmonic note in that grit and growl. You can find it. You just have to search for it. My gripe and my problem is with the clean vocals. All auto-tuned. The auto-tune is ridiculously over the top obvious. In some places, it's a little more subtle, but it's there. You can hear the digital influence in what's being said and what's being sang. You can hear the digital footprint. And in other places, it's glaring. It's absolutely glaring. Not a big fan of that. Not really a big fan of that. I never have been. I probably never will be. And the thing is, I know, because I've heard her sing before on other songs without autotune, or at least autotune done a lot more subtly, a lot more smoothly, a lot more clean. This is very, with her vocals, the clean vocals, very off-putting with all the overusage of autotune. I'm just not a fan. So you got some pluses, got some minuses. So, it's all right. We'll see how it turns out in the end. Let's finish this out and we'll get to the review.
ねえねえ、何タイプ？あ、IN あれなんだっけ？あれ INT もう覚えらんない。みんなでチルタイム。T とか F とか中無人で never mind.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's not bad. I love when I give critique and everybody's like, "Oh, he hated it." No, I don't hate it. The overall product, do I hate it? No. There's certain things about the product I'm not a big fan of, but there are other things about the product that I really like, and it kind of balances it out. It's gonna be fine. I promise. Hanabie fans, don't lose your heads. I promise you, it's gonna be okay. I promise. Okay, I promise you, it's gonna be okay. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Hanabie with Okashi My Type. This was a request from SMB, and this was actually one of SMB's 3 prioritized requests for the month of March for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, SMB. Hope you enjoyed the show. Okay. I know Hanabie fans are going to lose their minds on this. I know they are. And there's nothing I'm going to be able to say or do to stop that. So let's just rip off the Band-Aid and I'll give my explanation. Hopefully most Hanabie fans will listen to what I have to say and will, hear my words, understand where I'm coming from, and go, okay, that makes sense. They may not like it, but they'll understand where I'm coming from. I know it's not going to be everybody. I know I'm going to have probably at least 4 or 5 people in the comments who are going to come down on me. I know it. Probably more. That's being generous. 4 or 5. I'm thinking more like 8 to 10. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe I'm wrong. Prove me wrong. Let's see if I'm wrong about that. All right. Let's rip off the Band-Aid. Let's start with the score. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's not as bad as you think. I'm going to give that a 6.7. Yep, 6.7. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay. Oh boy, here it comes. Here comes the hate. I can hear it now, the vitriol in the comments. I can just hear it. I can just feel it. A 6.7. What does that mean? Everybody listen very carefully to what I'm about to say, okay? A 6.7 would come out to a pretty good skill rating. So overall, I think this was a pretty good song, okay? It would get 3 out of 5 stars. And believe it or not, listen very carefully here, it would get a B letter grade. Not a C, not a D, a B. B as in boy. So there you go, a 6.7, pretty good skill rating, 3 out of 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? Oh, Nelly. So glad you asked. Did I hate the song? No, I did not hate the song. There were certain things about the song I wasn't a fan of. There were certain things about the song I didn't really like. But there were also other aspects of the song that I enjoyed, and I really enjoyed. So if you look at the overall product, I enjoyed it as a whole. Yes, I did. The things that were really going well for it, honestly, more than anything else, the play with feel, switching between the straight time, the half time, and the double time. Mostly straight time and double time. They only switched to halftime once. But I really wish they had switched to halftime more often. I wish they had utilized it at least one more time, because that section, when we went to that halftime section, man, it was heavy. I loved it, and I really wish we could have had more of that. But, as the Rolling Stones famously said,
you can't always get what you want.
The feel, the play with feel was really nice. In particular, the double time feel. I like how the drummer was able to make a really good choice and put the snare hits on the upbeats as opposed to the downbeats. By putting it on the upbeats, it gave it the illusion of being pushed faster than it actually was. When you put the snare directly on the downbeats, you'll be on top of the beat. Yeah, absolutely. You'll be right there. But when you put the snare hits on the upbeats, it gives it that little, it's an illusion, it gives it an illusion of giving it a little more push, like over the top. I like that. I really do. I think that was a very smart choice for this song, especially differentiating between the straight time feel and the double time feel. The instrumentation, I thoroughly enjoyed. The guitar tone sounded really nice, thick and crunchy without being muddy. You could tell exactly what notes were being played. Bass sounded good. Drumming sounded really good. I had no issue with anything that was happening within the instrumentation. My issues stem from two things. And one of the two things actually has a split. Let's get to that one first. Vocals. Okay. Listen, I've never been the biggest fan of Pure Grit and Growl, which I was glad to see we didn't have here. Don't get me wrong. Okay. We didn't have Pure Grit and Growl. But I gotta say, the reason I'm mentioning this is when it comes to clean vocals and grit and growl vocals, 99.9% of the time, I would prefer clean vocal singing. I can't believe I'm going to say this. In this instance, I actually preferred the grit and growl vocals. I like the grit and growl vocal better than the clean vocals. And it's not because the clean vocals were doing anything wrong from what was being sang or from tone. And I want to be very clear, when I'm talking about clean vocals, I'm talking about the melodic singing. I am not talking about the spoken word parts. The spoken word parts, there's no singing, there's no pitch, it's just spoken word. Okay, that's fine. I don't want to say it's irrelevant, but it's not part of this conversation. When we went into the melodic singing, the use of auto-tune was... To say it was obvious was an understatement. I mean, there were times it was glaringly obvious. And now there were times it was a bit smoother, okay? But it was still obvious. And the thing is, when it comes to Hanabie, I know I've heard her sing clean. I don't know if there was no auto-tune or not, but if they were using auto-tune, it was done a lot smoother. It was done a lot less obvious. There was never a point in the clean melodic singing where you could not tell, or you could tell that auto-tune was being used at all times. You could. There's absolutely no denying it. As a result, the clean vocals ended up sounding very digital and squeaky clean to the point of being sterile. I really wasn't a fan of the style that was taken when it came to the clean vocals. Like I said, notation kind of goes out the window because auto-tune was taking care of everything. So pitch was spot on because thanks to auto-tune, it had no choice but to be. The other thing I was going to talk about, and this is kind of a glaring issue across the entire song. The entire song really kind of suffered from an overusage of digital. The entire song sounded scrubbed, like everything very compressed, everything very expanded, everything very noise gated. I mean, it almost sounded digital. Like the entire song almost sounded digital. Sometimes less is more. And when it comes to producing and engineering a song or an album or whatever the case may be, I've been noticing this trend more and more in music as the years go by. Sometimes you want to have some of that organic. You know what I mean? You really do. Because when you scrub a song and you scrub a song and you scrub a song, you're gonna. Okay, it's like washing a car or polishing a car or putting varnish or oil on a piece of wood or a piece of furniture. Sometimes less is more. You know, you get it clean, you get it buffed, you get it shiny. Leave it alone. You know, at that point, you got the desired effect. It looks nice, it looks clean. Leave it alone. Let it bask in its own glory. When you sit there and you rub and you rub and you scrub and you scrub and you grind, the next thing you know, you've gone through the varnish, you've gone through the paint, you've gone through the primer, and you're down to the metal. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, you stripped away all the layers, and now it is squeaky clean. It is to the point of being sterile. And you lose that organic feel. unfortunately, we live in a day and age in the music industry where, you know, it's so money oriented, it's frightening. Time is money. And that, guys, if you look at any industry in entertainment, television, music, movies, whatever the case may be, time is money. And if you can get something done in 3 takes as opposed to 30 takes, you're going to save a lot of time, which as an end result, you're going to save a lot of money. And if you can fix it in post, I love that phrase. If you can fix it in post, you got 3 takes. Okay, we'll take the best parts of all 3 takes, put them together and make a song. After we polish it and scrub it down and, you know, noise gate it and compress it and everything else, you're going to get a very digital sounding product. Is it going to be a finished product? Yes. But here's the problem with that. You're pumping out product really fast and you're saving money in the process, but now it's becoming quantity over quality. And I'm not a fan of that. And do I blame the ladies for that? No, absolutely not. It's not their fault. They have zero say in this. It's the record company that has their contract. They're the ones making the call. It's the producer working for the record company who has that call. It's the engineer working under the producer who makes that call. You know, the ladies honestly have really no say in this. So it's a shame. It is, because we ended up with a very digital sounding song. But I mean, overall, the songwriting is solid. It sounded good. The instrumentation sounded good. What was being played sounded just fine. It's just, at the end of the day, it sounded very digital to me. And I was like, I would really like to hear a little bit of a warmer tone overall, a little more organic sound. But it is what it is.
Son, you're on your own.
So yeah, 6.7. I feel good about that score, and that is where we're going to stay. It's not the best song I've ever heard from Hanabie. I've heard better songs from them, and I've heard better sounding, quality sounding songs from them. But at the end of the day, this was not bad. It was not terrible. It was not horrible. It was pretty good. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow before any other Hanabie fans wants to come along and lynch me. We have a 6.7, which is a pretty good scale rating, 3 out of 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.